Today's episode, we're going to show you how to pull this roller apart and make it all sexy pretty like. Just like this. Well, now that you've seen it, you can end the video right here.
Okay, let's remove the snorkel here. It is just a 10mm bolt. Just gotta loosen it up. Give me snorkel. There we go. Ugh. Man, what is with bees in these snorkels? All right, show you the disgustingness that is inside this thing. So if you guys have one of these trucks, you may want to consider cleaning this thing out, because for some reason, everybody I know has bees and beehives in this stupid thing.
All right, one of the things that I find really interesting about these trucks is you always find the cool little ways they put things together. Like, for example, they've got the, these are the roller guides for the winch cable that goes into the back bumper. And they have the center of the roller guide pinned in with a roll pin in a blind hole. So what they've done is they've stuck these roll pins in, but what they don't show is these roll pins only go halfway in. So they're only halfway into the shaft. So to get these things out, so you can drive this pin, there it is. That's how you get the pin jammed in there. Cool. So there it starts. Get a bigger one. Ta-da! Isn't that cool? That's got some rust and garbage in there. So we'll probably just chuck that up in the lathe and then just hit it with some fine sandpaper until that comes off. And just polish that back up. It's not actually a big solid bronze oilate bushing, but you can see down inside of there that it's got a machine surface about a good half of it. The inside half, and then you have oilite bushing on both sides. So, not that it's important, but just interesting. So we're gonna pack the grease out of here, make sure we get all the goop out of it, and put fresh grease in all this thing. I got to admit, this thing is actually coming together really well. So we've set up round 3 of Billy Bob's paint booth. Well, it's actually round 2 of the paint booth. We're gonna start stuffing stuff in there and sanding it, getting ready for paint. So we got our panels, a ton of panels pulled apart. So we're gonna be scuffing those and then laying down a layer of epoxy primer over the caulk paint, which is a polyurethane paint, I believe. And then we're going to probably top it off with an epoxy paint.
Hooray, you get to watch me sand. This is so great YouTube? Not really. Yeah, we'll skip this part.
Well, we're one step closer. Got some of the parts completely sanded. We got a couple of parts that we need to do a little bit of sandblasting on, because we got some rust down inside there. We cleaned up some rust on the air box, on the air cleaner. So, getting closer. And now we have a dusty mess.
So after rinsing these parts off, I sprayed them down with the wax and grease remover and then wiped them down with a clean rag.
We have our pile of parts that are sitting here with our first coat of primer on there. Yeah, that's just hanging out. Well, we got all these bits and pieces primed, so we'll hit these with the
scuff them up with our finishing pad, and then we'll shoot them paint. We got our first coat of paint on there. Unfortunately, it's quite a bit glossier. It's like a semi-gloss right now. It's quite a bit glossier than I want it to be, so I think I will double up on the flattener tomorrow and see if we can't get this thing to get a little dark, well, a little flatter. There, got it all painted back up. Got our rollers painted. Got our bars polished up. All the rust taken off of it. Ran it through a wash cycle to get all the grease out of it. Make sure there's no sand or junk in there. Got ourselves some new roll pins. Let's put this thing back together. One would think I'd have all the tools at hand to do this. Okay, got our caps. Go. Beauty. Pretty. Is if you tap on them, you can see that the camera moves a ton. So let me move that over to the other table real quick. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right, so we have the roller guides for the winch cable. Good Lord. All right. Can I not speak English? All right, we have the roller guides for the winch cable here, and the what is that thing called? Pin? Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. I should start drinking right now. Thanks, Dave.
I got the whole bag.